Recently, Daniel Cormier warned Alex Pereira about his upcoming fight against Jan Blachowicz. DC said that Alex cannot get hit by Jan because of his power. Recently, Alex responded to DC. He went on to say, did he knock out everyone he's fought? I don't think so, right? If he was a guy who has knocked out everybody, I would say damn. But no, he's a normal fighter, a former champion, experienced and dangerous. But many people say about me, if he was knocked out, he won't come back the same. I beat Adesanya twice in kickboxing and once in MMA. A scary knockout in kickboxing, oxygen mask and everything, and he came back and beat me. Only if you're a guy with a weak mind and that gets inside your head, then yes. The guy touches you and you go down. But there's no such thing, man. I had good recovery. Of course you got hit and that will affect you for a moment. Maybe if you train the next day or week and get hit, you'll be weaker. But I think the way I did it, the recovery I had, everything I did was perfect. I think if Blachowicz lands a hand and I go down, it's because I was supposed to go down, not because I got weak from the punch Adesanya landed. I was there for Blachowicz' fight with Adesanya, and I think Adesanya controlled it and gave Blachowicz the opportunity to do what he did. It was a close fight and then he had the great advantage, taking him down and controlling the fight there. He didn't do much, but he was able to dominate on the ground. Maybe Adesanya would have pulled it off if he had been a bit more aggressive. Dana White just made two big fight announcements. First, we have Rafael Fiziev versus Mateusz Gamrot. Fiziev is coming off a majority decision loss to Justin Gaethje. Gamrot is coming off a split decision win over Jalen Turner. Next up, we have Bryce Mitchell versus Dan Ige. Bryce is coming off a submission loss to Ilia Topuria. Dan Ige is coming off a unanimous decision win over Nate Landwehr. Post your predictions for these two fights in the comments. Ahead of his fight against Michael Chiesa this weekend at UFC 291, Kevin Holland names his top 3 BMFs.
Who are your top 3 BMFs in the UFC?
Top 3 BMFs in the UFC are not in the UFC, so it would have to be the top 3 is just it's both Diaz brothers and then it's George. You know, and it's like everybody else in the game. I hate to toot my own horn, but these motherfuckers ain't like me. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you look me up hard enough, you see the track record. So it's like, yeah, they're pretty cool inside the cage. They're really, really good guys. I think they're fantastic guys. I don't think there's nothing wrong with these guys at all. I'm not trying to talk shit about them, but I'm talking about bad motherfucker inside, outside the cage. It's like, you go look at George, right? His dad just popped somebody for going inside the house. Bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? You look at Kev stopping sushi shootings, motherfucking Bob, I'm on 7th Street doing crazy shit. I'm all over Houston doing crazy. Bad motherfucker. But I mean, it's like, if I start a charity drive, it's probably gonna be because I was trying to cover up some. You get what I'm saying? It's not gonna be because I'm trying to help some people. But that's just who I am.
Aljamain Sterling on the Weekly Scraps podcast previews Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. Aljo says that although this is a great opportunity for Sean Strickland, it's going to be a very tough fight for him.
In terms of craftiness, youth still, storylines, like there's just everything about a champion that you want. This man has it in Izzy. Yeah. So I'm very intrigued to see what Strickland's approach is going to be and how he's going to handle the diversity of the attacks of a guy like Izzy, and who in the gym is going to be able to mimic or give him those type of looks. They're definitely gonna have to bring somebody in, maybe a couple of bodies. Strickland has a gas tank. I think that's one area that can actually help him in this fight against Izzy. I think it's a tough fight, and I'm looking forward to it. This is a great opportunity for Sean Strickland to elevate his profile even more. We all know he's about doing the man dance. So we'll see what happens in this one. If he's gonna do the man dance with a guy like Izzy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight. I think it's gonna be good.
Robert Whittaker on the MM Arcade podcast discusses who he could potentially fight next. Rob thinks it could be Sean Strickland, now that it looks like the UFC is not interested in booking Sean versus Izzy for the belt.
Remember, we ruled out Sean Strickland because we thought he was fighting Izzy in September, but that doesn't look to be happening anymore. I can't see Sean Strickland jumping Dricus if they don't fight September.
Correct.
You know? So I'm not going to rule him out of the discussion of next fight. We're going to have to wait and see. It's one of those. Yeah. It's one of those things. The division is kind of backed up at the moment, and there's a lot of moving pieces. Yeah. They're just not moving in the way that I want them to. But regardless, I'm going to focus on just getting back onto that winning track. I'm excited for the training. I'm back at training already. I've been back at the gym hustling, and I am more eager than ever to get back in there. So I don't know who it's going to be, but we'll wait and see.
This week, Jared Cannonier did an interview with Holland and gave his reaction to the potential fight between Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland. Cannonier is backing Izzy, and Sean responded via Twitter. Cannonier went on to say Sean doesn't even believe he can win that fight, you know? He just wants to go in there and fight and get some money. I believe I can win that fight. I believe that's the big difference between me and a lot of these other guys. But Izzy is not an easy fight, you know what I mean? The way those styles match up, I don't think Sean will be able to work his jab, his funky ass footwork, his ability to evade shots. I think Izzy is way too long. He's a sniper. He's too diverse. He's too versatile for his striking. I don't think Sean's grappling is good enough to make it a factor, to make it as competitive. But who knows, a fight is a fight. A lot of us didn't think Duplessis was going to do what he did to Robert Whittaker. I wouldn't count any man out, especially at the top of the division. All of us have the ability to go in there, protect ourselves, and also incapacitate our opponents. But my money would be on Izzy if I was a betting man. Sean Strickland responded with this. Sean wrote, "Makes me laugh to hear Cannonier's opinion on me and Izzy. I like him, but man, I won that fight. You know I won that fight. The announcers know I won that fight. I won the fight in first gear. But yes, you threw really hard. I don't know what they felt like, but they looked hard." So if you didn't know, Justin Gaethje and Jorge Masvidal are not the biggest fans of each other. During the lead up to Jorge's first fight against Kamaru Usman, Gaethje called him a fucking idiot for calling himself Street Jesus.
I'm going to put a $1,000 parlay on Rose and Kamaru. I think Kamaru is going to mess Masvidal up, and he's going to TKO him in the late second, early third. I really want to see Masvidal go to sleep, call himself Jesus. An idiot. Rose is going to significantly outstrike Andrade. She's going to win the decision, and I'm going to win some money.
Then after Kamaru defeated Jorge, Gaethje accused Masvidal's team of cheating for pouring water on him in between rounds. In an Instagram comment, Gaethje wrote, "Thankfully his team tried to cheat pouring a bottle of water on his head. Karma's a bitch." A few weeks back, Dana White said that Jorge was going to wrap the BMF belt around the winner of Gaethje versus Poirier. Gaethje likes that idea because Masvidal will hate it.
It seems like the plan is to have Jorge Masvidal wrap the belt around the winner here, but he's a teammate of Dustin. He says he thinks Dustin is going to win. Do you even want him to do that if you win this fight?
Yeah, I want to make him do it. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Make the moment sweeter for you.
Yep.
Who do you think?
I know he'll hate it, so I'll love it that much more.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Michael Bisping saying that John Jones couldn't hold a candle to Tom Aspinall, and that Tom Aspinall would do the same to John as he did to Marcin Tybura over the weekend. The first one's from Tremboloni Tony. It says, "Imagine saying John Jones can't hold a candle to Tom Aspinall." The second one's in reference to Sean Strickland revealing that him versus Izzy is off. It's from EMG Sports. It says, "No Strickland versus Adesanya yet, UFC 293? Well then guess who won't be ordering UFC 293? And the final one's from Johnny Ringo. It says, "Why cancel Izzy versus Sean? SMH, Izzy called for it. Sean called for it. Izzy don't like Sean. Sean likes picking on Izzy. What's the deal, man? SMH." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.